Hi, welcome to my boat project. My name is Glenn and this is my 1971 Aquarius 21, and today I'm going to lift the boat so I can pull the trailer out of here. I need to do a lot of work on the trailer. It needs a complete refurbishing. It has a lot of rust. It has a lot of extra things it doesn't need. It's missing some things that it needs. The bunks need to be replaced. I need to put some rollers on it so the stiff keel can ride on it. Then I need to pull out the centerboard from the bottom of the boat. I need to restore it, and then I need to put it back. I also need to sand the entire thing, ferret, prime it, barrier coat, and finally paint. None of that happens until I can hover the boat, pull the trailer out, and keep it there so I can do all that work. Up next on my boat project. Okay, so I have the jack in place and there's a gap here, and that will be taken up as I tip the front of the trailer up. Now, I might find that's not enough. I do have some leeway. If I need to, I have a bunch of bricks or blocks I can put underneath this jack to raise it up. I also have a bunch of 2x4s to put up on here. So that's what I'm going to be doing right now, is pulling this thing out, sanding, putting it back, seeing how it looks. And I imagine there's a way I could have done it better. I brought some paper, thick construction paper that you might put on the ground to protect the floor if you're doing construction. And what I was going to do is make a template right around that and then match that up with the wood. And I don't know, I decided not to. Not saying my decision was the best, but you know, we're all here for learning, right? And I've never done anything like this before, so I'm trying it this way, and next time maybe I will try the template and see how that works out. For some reason, I just didn't want to go to the work and effort of the template. I guess I'm not committed that it was, not committed, I guess I'm not convinced that it would be better. I want to show you what I've done so far on my jack stand, boat stand, whatever you want to call it. So I have this, what used to be a porch railing, and I shrunk it a little bit to make it a little shorter, put on the stabilizers on the side so it can't move side to side. I've put a couple of 2x4s on here so the keel can rest on it, and I have a couple of lines on the keel. See that red line? That's how far I want this side of the 2x4 to go. So in order to do that, I need to shave this down a little bit. Now you see the numbers I put here, that's how high it needs to be from there straight up above to the boat. And so I did that with the blocks, and then by hand, or by eye, I sort of cut that down to get it close. So now what I'm gonna do is go around on the other side, because one thing to keep in mind is the boat is at an angle, so measuring it from here up to here is going to be larger than on the opposite side. So I'm going to go over there right now and trace this with my pencil. Basically on the other side I'm going to draw a line that tries to match the hull shape, and then I will do a combination of cutting and sanding to try to get that to fit. And the idea is I want as much surface area to be touching the hull as possible, rather than that one little spot right there. The whole idea is to keep the boat not only holding it up, but to keep it from rolling, tipping, and sliding. Okay, so I'm going to show you what I did on the other side, and it's, you know, it's still not a highly refined technique, but it seems to be working well enough for what I'm doing. So on the other side I used this, and I just sort of followed the contour, keeping the bubble right in the middle, keeping it horizontal. And I followed the contour here, and I just stuck the pin and held it there along the wood. The bunk is in the way, so I don't have room to do that now, so I'm just going to use my finger and eyeball it as best I can, and I'm going to hold my finger up to trace like that. So we'll see how well it works. I'm also kind of going by how it ended up looking on the other side, and I'll show you that in just a minute. Let me finish this. Let me see how this goes. So I'm not saying that this is the way to do it. I'm just saying this is the way I'm doing it. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not wild about that. And because this is going to go here, so guess what I'm looking at is this darn bunk is in the way. That's horizontal, so okay, what I'm seeing there is that we're going to come out right about there, which is different than the line I just drew. So maybe I'll draw another one sort of paralleling it, and maybe I can see what that one's like. Let's see. Yeah, that one's about right. I think that is about right. So what I'm going to do now is pull this out of here, cut it with my Sawzall, and put it back and see how it goes. So I'll show you that as I put it back. Here goes nothing, as they say. All right, now let's see how it looks when I slide it into place. There we go. Not bad. So pretty close. It's about the same shape, roughly. So you can still see light through there. This needs to be trimmed through there. That too a little bit. This is, it's all right. Don't love it, but I'll sand it and then try it again. So I'm basically going to be doing this, pulling this out, sanding, pulling it out, sanding until I get it right. Well, by Jove, I think I did it. Pretty good job. It's about the same distance. The wood is about the same distance from the hull. Yeah, I know you can see that it's greater at the bottom than it is up there, but for what I need it to do, I think it's going to work. A little bit close there, but I still think it'll be fine. And I'm going to put some carpet there to protect the surface of the boat. There, it's pretty much touching, but I have some old rug I'll put on there, and that'll help protect it and pad it and give it a little more grip so the boat's less likely to slide. Okay, I think I've got it. I'm ready to put the jacks in place, the other jack stands. So I have the carpet on there. It's not at all pretty, but it doesn't need to be. So let me show you what I'm going to do now to get this boat off the trailer. It's going to be like a teeter-totter. So I'm going to, well, the front's already as low as it can get. Now what I'm going to do is jack it up, and the back end, which would normally go down, is now going to stay put because it's on the jack stands or the boat stand. Then when I get the front up, then I will put that long bar that you see right there on this stand and the opposite and the one on the other side, and voila, the boat will be hovering above the trailer, and then I can pull the trailer out and do all the work I need to do on the trailer and the bottom of the boat and pull out that centerboard. matter, because now what it's time to do is raise the boat up off of the trailer. So I have this configuration set up. I'll show you in just a second, but basically I'm going to put a long bar from one side to the other, and it's going to be supported by this jack stand. My long bar is actually the extension bar for the trailer when I want to launch in shallow water. So it's about 10 feet long, which is great because the width of the tires, the outside width of the tires, are about 8 feet, 8 and an inch or something like that. So the jack stands need to be wider than that, so when I elevate the boat, I can pull the trailer out from underneath it. Let's see if it works. Okay, let's see how high we can jack this up. By the way, the wheels are chalked, so this wheel, even if it does roll, the trailer won't. All right, so I have the jack on 2 blocks. I use the jack stand to split the difference. So I cranked up the trailer jack to get the front of the trailer up as high as I could. I used that red jack stand there to hold it. Then I raised the wheel back up to the top, put 2 blocks underneath it, and then jacked it down again in order to get the trailer this high. I'm just about at the right level. Might need to go up a little bit more. Hopefully the jack will go up higher. But if not, I'll figure it out. So anyways, I have my jack stand right there, the wooden one, and there's another one on the other side that's identical to it. So the idea is I will slide this straight across. It'll go under the keel and on the other jack stand. And then as I lower the trailer, the boat will stay in place. Oh, might need to go forward a little bit more with, this is exciting. I've never used these before. I just dreamt them up on a piece of paper. I didn't even measure, I just guessed. And I put this at a 5-degree angle, so as the weight comes down, it's going to be less likely to tip this direction. I mean, it may not be enough, I may not be right about it, but it's a shot. Here's what I have. This stand that I built, this is at an angle to here. It's about a 50-degree angle. So the top is directly over right about there, so the downward force is less likely to tip it this way. And the boat is totally off the trailer. And yeah, I think I can leave it just like this. Just in case it fails, it won't fall far. Now we're going to go around to the back side and see how my boat stand is working. We're leaning a little bit back. These should be straight up and down, so it shows me there's some force going that direction. Until the beam is snug. Right there. And I want them to be straight, of course, which they are. Okay. Well, and the next thing is to the bottom of this beam needs to be higher than the highest bunk. The skids, you know, the carpeted boards. Because if it's not, then the trailer's not coming out. All right, lower it away. Why am I nervous? I think it's all just gonna shatter. What if that bar just, I doubt it would. It's pretty strong, it's a thick metal. Raise the front of the trailer as much as I can to still be able to slide the trailer underneath my beam. Okay, I unscrewed the outer bunks on each side, so looks like it clears. Starboard side, we'll see. All right, let's drag this thing out of here, get that centerboard out. Move on to the next phase of this project. Probably enough right there. Stay.